Okay, welcome everyone. Gosh, a lot of people turned up at the last minute. I think I wasn't going to get anybody, but welcome anyway. I'm glad you're here. I'm Jane. I'll be your coach for today's webinar on who's who in social media, and I hope you'll find it interesting and informative. So let's get underway. First of all, everyone is muted. I have muted everyone so background noise doesn't interfere with each other. However, if you do have a question for me, that's fine. I'm happy to take them as we go or at the end. You can just type it in here, okay, and just send it to me and I'll pick it up as we go. I've got a little flag. So this is your little arrow to hide or show your control panel. You can hide it so it doesn't get in the way of your screen once we get underway. If you want it to be full screen here, if I say raise your hand, just click on this hand icon here, which I will do now to see if you can hear me okay. Can everyone just raise their hand, click your hand icon, check that the volume is all right? Let me just have a look. One hand gone up. Everyone else, can you hear me okay? Just click that little hand icon in your control panel. A couple more. Any more? Okay, great. All right, I'll put them down. But the other thing I would really like you to do is to help me to pitch this one, because it's kind of an introductory social media module or webinar, but I want to make sure I'm pitching it at the right level, because social media is such a big topic. I want to make sure that I'm giving you information that is useful. So if you are already working in social media, if you already have a social media platform of some sort for your business, can you please raise your hand now so I can see, or are we starting from scratch? Okay, and if you're, okay, so a couple of people have, a couple of people haven't. If your hand is up, would you just mind, if it's okay, in the question panel, just typing the platform that you're on. If it's Facebook, put Facebook. If there's a couple, put them in, just to give me an idea. That would be really helpful for me in knowing where to pitch it. I noticed some of us haven't put our hands up, so we are all a couple of beginners as well, but that's good to know. Okay. Okay, what have we got? So someone's already on Facebook, great. A couple of Facebooks, I kind of expected we would be. Okay, all right, that's good. All right, let's get underway without any further ado. I'm sure looks like we've all done webinars before here, so we are all familiar with the technology. All good, so yep, Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, okay. Right, so let's get started. So who's who in social media? So globally, there's probably no surprises here. Top 5 social platforms globally is Facebook, YouTube, Google+, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Actually, there is a bit of a surprise. I didn't think Google Plus would be up that high. But anyway, so you can see the breakdown of audience from female to male, female being pink and male being grey. YouTube, many more males. Google Plus as well. Facebook probably has the most females looking at it. So that's just to give you a bit of an overview, and also the age groups down here. So I would imagine that our audiences that we're looking for would be pink, blue and dark blue, so between say 25 to 54, or some of us might be looking for the older retiree type market. So that will give you an idea of social media for your particular audience. But a bit more detail around this. I promise not to have stats all the way through. It's just to give you a bit of context and help you make some decisions on what platforms you should be on to reach your audience, because there's no point in being on e.g. Tumblr if your audience is on e.g. Facebook, for example. So just a few stats to set the scene before we get underway. So 65% of Australians use social media. That's a lot of people. And Australia as a country is very active on social media per capita. We actually use social media a lot more than most other countries, including the US and the UK. Don't know why that is, but we must be very social, apparently. Of the people that are using social media regularly, 95% of them are on Facebook. Okay, so 95% of people who use social media regularly in Australia are using Facebook. So there's some hints for you as to where you might want to be. A little bit more on stats. 67% of Australian social users use them on a smartphone. So they will use their social media on a phone, which means has a couple of implications. It's a lot faster than a desktop. They're a lot more accessible. They're likely to use it at any time during the day rather than set hours like, work hours 9 to 5. It could be any time at all. They could be using it. And it's a lot harder to see a lot of things on the phone. So a couple of implications there for what you're going to post and when. But also because they're always on, you're always on as well. So that's something to think about. 30% of Australian small businesses use social media. I would expect that would be higher in tourism. because it is such a kind of a social industry and there's so many opportunities for great photos and videos and, you know, lovely content. So, but across the board, 35% of Australian small businesses use social media. There's more stats here, but I just thought I'd draw your attention to those ones. Maybe this one, 25% of social media users follow brands. So social media used to be about hanging out with your friends. This 25% has grown from last year, and when they release the next report in May, Yellow Pages, I suspect it will have grown again. People are getting more used to the idea of following brands on social media rather than just kind of hanging out with their mates or their family. So in terms of platforms that you could consider for your social media presence, these are the ones that we digital coaches kind of tossed around and thought from our experience in dealing with people and from what we know. There are literally thousands of social media platforms that you could be on. And obviously the question to ask yourself is, which ones are my audience on? Because obviously you want to be where they are and not try and drag them across from somewhere else. So these are the ones that, because in our view and in our experience, the audience is mostly there, and also these are the platforms that lend themselves to the kind of content that's easy for you to produce as a tourism operator. These are the ones that we'd recommend you look at if you haven't started already. YouTube, Facebook, TripAdvisor, I know, Google+, blogs, Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter. Now, I'm not saying be on all of these, okay? It will do your head in and you'll spend your time doing nothing but social media, because you can't do that, especially if you're a small business owner operator or there's only one or two of you. Now, you can't do all of these platforms well. So our advice is always find out where your audience is, decide what kind of content would suit that, or what kind of platform would suit your content, and then just do at least one thing well. Okay, so there's no point in being on Facebook and Twitter and YouTube and having a blog if you're not updating them regularly, posting interesting content, doing them well. So, you know, husband your resources, or wife your resources, as it were, and decide which is going to give me the most bang for my buck. Where is my audience? Where can I post good content? What have I got time for that isn't going to interfere with all the other things I need to do in my business? And what have I got time to do well? So throughout this webinar, I'm going to make some suggestions, but it's always down to you to decide, what can I do well? Where's my audience? You know, what's going to display my content the best? But anyway, these are in general the ones that we suggest that you select from. In terms of the most popular platforms, Yellow Social Media Report, May 2013. Again, this one's coming out again. Facebook, 95%. It's kind of a no-brainer, really. Followed by LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, Google+, and Pinterest. This was nearly a year ago, though, but I would still suspect that Facebook would still be top. Note that TripAdvisor wasn't included in these stats, okay? Okay, hand up here. Colette, could you type your question? Because I don't know why your hand is up, if that's all right. And then I can find out what's going on with you. Another hand. Okay, rather than putting hands up if you've got a question, could you type your question in the question box, and then I can see what you need and answer it that way. Okay, and so general tips and comments about social media. Obviously, you can reach an audience that might not be available elsewhere. So you might have an audience that is coming to your website, but there might be a much bigger audience out there that's on Facebook or YouTube or Google Plus or Pinterest or somewhere. And so it's an opportunity for you to find someone that is not coming to your website. Oh, okay, no worries. No question, just lost internet. Okay, cool. That's good to know. I'm glad you're back. Right. Sorry, distracted by technology. So you can reach an audience that might not be coming to your website, obviously. And the other thing about social media is what we call the network effects. So, for example, you put up a good post on Facebook, and the people who already like you on Facebook see that, and hopefully they like it or comment it or on it or share it, preferably. And so when they share it, like or comment, depending on how they've set their privacy, but if they've shared it, definitely, their friends will see that post, and their friends might like, comment, share your post, and then the friends of friends will see that post. So you get this network effect where you've put out one post and it's gone to your immediate likers, and some of them have shown their friends who you don't know, and some of them have shown their friends who've shown their friends who've shown their friends. So you get this kind of network effect And it's much more effective for you getting your brand and your message out there than it would be you trying to do one-on-one with only people that like you, or trying to do it by email, or, you know, drive traffic to your website or whatever. So you get this kind of network effect where friends of friends of friends of friends of friends get introduced to you that they may not have found you any other way. And the other part of that is this thing that we call social proof, which is like such and such likes this brand or likes this page on Facebook. You know, I'm giving a very simplistic example, but it's kind of like my friend likes this brand on Facebook. Heck, I better have a look at that brand too and see if I would like them, because I like my friend's judgment and, you know, I think they're really cool and I want to do what they do. Now, that's a very simplistic example, but that's kind of the theory behind what we call social proof. If people like stuff, their friends are more likely to look at it and possibly like it too. So this is where social media can be really effective in getting you bigger audiences without as much effort as or expense as, e.g., an advertising campaign or that sort of thing. Another consideration with social media is that you are always on. As I said, people are looking at it on their phones, but in any case, so, you know, they're going to be looking at it anytime, anywhere, on the bus, in the office, at lunch, at breakfast, in the kitchen cooking dinner, whatever. But you are also always on. It's not like the old days where you put an ad in the paper and once the paper was gone, your ad was gone. You're actually there the whole time. You're always on, which means there's an expectation there that you will always be there. Now, I know that isn't a very reasonable expectation, but the fact is when you're on social media, you're always on to your audience. And so what that means for you is you need to manage and monitor your social media as much as you possibly can. Keep an eye on it and make sure that you know, if there are questions there, that they're answered, and if there are comments, that you like them at least, if not respond to them. Okay, another hand up. Oh, cool. There is a very strong relationship between social media and mobile, as I've been saying a couple of times. People expect immediate or quick answers to their question, much more so than they would be on a call centre. Colette, your hand is up. Is there a question? Can you type it for me? Thanks. Thank you. If anyone is having trouble with their internet connection, we are recording this one, so you will definitely be able to see it on YouTube, and you will anyway if you want to see it again. So don't worry too much if your internet keeps dropping out. So people expect immediate or quick answers to questions. They're much less inclined to wait on social media if they put a question, a customer service question or something up there. Then, you know, people are kind of prepared to wait 20 minutes in a call centre. They will not be necessarily be prepared to wait, you know, a day if they have a question about something. So again, it's kind of, if you're going to get into social media, it's important that you do manage it well and stay on it. And of course, some of us may have already experienced this. Sometimes you can get negative reviews or negative comments that need to be managed. So I'm going to give you some tips about that as we go through. But these are just general tips and comments. So it's great for reaching people that you may not always reach, but there are implications that mean you need to be actively managing it as much as you can. So let's have a look at Facebook first. Some stats first. 13 million odd monthly Australian users, okay? MAUs, that's called. So that's a lot of people. That's more than half the Australian population. And when you consider that you have to be 13 to have a Facebook account, it's even more. I think the Australian population is around 22,000. So that's a lot of people on Facebook. You can see the breakdown of ages here in this one. So 25 to 34, 18 to 24, 35 to 44, 45 to 54. Tends to drop off as we get older, but this is growing, okay? And in Australia, ratio of female to male, a little bit more female than not. This is from Social Bakers, great source of stats. So this is the biggest platform in Australia. Facebook is definitely the biggest platform, but it's also the one that takes the most management and the most time to do, and the most effort for you to do well. However, if you do it well, the returns can be enormous. Let's just have a look at a live example, because it's probably easier if I show you live examples rather than, there we are, sorry, my control panel. Okay, so this is an extreme example here. This is Condé Nast Traveller. Don't expect to be like them just yet, all right? They have massive resources. They have a huge social media team, so don't be daunted, but I'm just showing it to you as an example of what's possible. So they have a beautiful hero image here, so cover photo. You can change this at any time, okay? And the idea is that it really represents your brand. So your most beautiful tourist shot that you can, that is relevant to your business, is what I put here. They put their logo here, which is a nice contrast. You can do that too, or you can put a smaller picture, but the logo stands out nicely against the cover photo. Very easy to do. You just log into your page, go change cover photo, change profile big, upload it, Bob's your uncle. Easy to do. Moving down a little bit, this is their about section, and what they have put in is what the page is about, who the company is, and this is really, really important in Facebook, which says, and I'll tell you why right at the end of the presentation, may edit or remove any materials posted by fans or third parties. Now, I know that sounds pretty draconian, but when we get to the end, I'll show you the ruling, but you are currently responsible for all content posted on your Facebook page, including whether or not you have control over it. So I always say to people I'm talking to, if people put up something that is illegal, defamatory, racist, homophobic, whatever, all those things are illegal and you need to deal with it. So put in your about us that you will delete offensive material, really important, as well as what it's about, who you are, please feel free, and you might want to look at that copyright statement as well. Now, I'm not a lawyer, so I can't give you legal advice, but just a plain statement that says we will delete offensive or illegal material, and if you're posting stuff, you have you need to have the rights to post it. At the very least, I would put something like that. So refer to theirs, get your own, talk to your own lawyer, whatever you think. Also, basic information on all the things that they do, how you can get in touch with them, life events, that sort of thing. But very important in your About Us. Let's get back to the pretty bits. Other things to point out, these are tabs here, okay, and you can integrate different accounts along here. When you start up your Facebook page, you get photos, and you get the number of likes by default. So these come with your Facebook page. These ones, they link to their Pinterest account, their Instagram, their upgrades and extras, their magazine, their videos. These are all things they've added in, and it's not difficult to add these into your tabs as well. If you've got a lot of really nice photos on Pinterest, you've got a good Instagram account, you've got lots of nice videos, this is another way that you can add these into your Facebook account or Facebook page, and people can find you. If they're on Facebook and not follow you on Pinterest, they can click on here, have a look at your Pinterest account, and see what lovely photos you have, that sort of stuff. You don't have to do this, but it's kind of a nice way of getting other social media platforms that you're on, and also you can advertise specials and things as well out there to your Facebook audience. Looking a little bit at posts now. So obviously, if you're not familiar with Facebook, you'd write something here, post on their page, or you can put up a photo or a video. Things that they have put up, nice photo, and the award for the most unfriendly city in the world goes to what? So that's a really nice way of writing a post, because it's aroused your curiosity. You want to know who it's going to be, who. So hopefully you will click through and read that. And also, look, 244 likes, 159 shares, 34 odd comments. The thing with Facebook, if you're not that familiar with it, is what we want to do when we're posting stuff on it is to get people to do something with our post. We want them to like it, comment it, and share it as much as possible. It's getting harder and harder for brands to maintain people seeing their posts, and one of the ways to do it is to encourage people to do something with your post, because then they will see it more often, in a nutshell. I'm skimming over this quite a lot. We do have more detail about Facebook in other presentations, but if you can just take it as read, you need to post content that people will do something with. So nice photos. When it comes to good food, we can't lie. Location does matter. These restaurants are in some of the craziest spots we've ever seen. So that's quite enticing and interesting, plus a beautiful photo. And look, we've got 997 shares, 2,000 odd likes, and a bunch of comments, 2 of 60. Okay, so 60 comments. Every time they put something up, something happens. Now, as I said at the beginning, caveat, these people have been doing this for a long time and they do have enormous resources. But I would be thinking to myself on my own Facebook page, is the stuff I'm putting up, are people responding to it? Is it interesting? Does it arouse their curiosity? Are they nice photos? Have I worded it in such a way as to entice people to click through? 30 delicious reasons we're looking forward to the baseball season. Yep. This square in Berlin can't really be called Adolf Hitler Platz, can it? So, yeah, that's a mistake on Google. So stuff that is related to travel, because that's what this site is all about. Ever wonder what it takes to totally strip and rebuild a hotel room? This awesome time-lapse video shows you how it's done. So nice video. So you don't have to put just text post up, although you can. You can put photos, you can put videos, but when you are wording your texts, try and word them in such a way, ask a question, arouse curiosity, try and get people to do something with it. At the very least, once or twice in a month, you could put click like if you'd like to be here right now, or share this post if you agree. That's a pretty obvious trick, but it works and people like and share and comment. Yep. So that's Facebook in a nutshell. I'm skimming over this a lot, but just to give you an idea, when you put it up, make it enticing, make it interesting. By all means, link your other accounts through via the tabs. Make sure you fill in your about and put your disclaimer up there, and post content that people are going to do something with, because that's the key to success on Facebook. Close that one. There we are. Moving on to YouTube, 12,600,000 UAVs is unique average active visitors, sorry. So that is people who are active on YouTube per month. This was for the month of March in Australia. So you can see a lot of people also on YouTube. It's a video channel. It's also the world's largest second largest search engine. So people might go to Google and do a text search, but if they can't find what they're looking for there, or it's too hard or too daunting, a lot of people will also then go to YouTube and do the same search on YouTube and try and find a video about what they're looking for. So as well as being a really good way to display your business, via videos, which is, a very lovely experiential type meeting where people can really get an idea of what your business is about. It's also a really great way of covering off search as well, because people may search for something like Great Whale Watch Experiences Queensland, for example, and they might do that in Google, but they might also do it on YouTube. And if you've got a video there that is titled or tagged, or you have those words in your description, Great Whale Watch Experience, Queensland, Sunshine Coast, or whatever, then it's highly likely that you'll come up. So if you're not on YouTube already, I would have a look at it. Easier to manage than Facebook in terms of conversations. The thing with Facebook is it's all about the conversation and responding to people, talking back to them if they ask a question or make a lovely comment, liking their comments, encouraging conversations is what Facebook is about. And of course, that takes a lot of resource to stay on it and try and get people to talk to you. Whereas YouTube, not so much. There is room to comment, but it's not as critical as Facebook in fostering conversations. The other thing to think about is it is owned by Google, and if it were me and I were trying to get seen on search, I would be on all of the Google products I could, so Google+, YouTube, images, books, whatever you've got room for. So yes, world's second largest search engine. A lot of people see it in Australia. It's video, which is really enticing and a great way to showcase your business and display its best points, owned by Google. So, no-brainer in terms of search. So I had Ben originally to show you, but I might just show you another one first and then we'll go on to his YouTube one. So this is Tourism Australia. Okay, this is their YouTube channel. Now, you don't have to have a channel. It's kind of, a channel is a place where all of your videos can be in the one place. So if you only have 2 or 3 videos, you might not worry about it just yet, but it is something I would think about setting up for the longer term, because what it means is that people can come to your YouTube channel. So this is YouTube User Australia featured, and they can see all your videos in the one spot, and they can also hit the subscribe button and subscribe to your channel, which is a bit like liking you on Facebook, same sort of thing, or following you. They can become one of your subscribers so that when you upload a new video, they'll get an email, which means, oh gosh, such and such who I really like the videos of has uploaded a YouTube video. I'll go and have a look. Okay, so it helps to reach people. So that is one of the advantages of having a channel. It looks nicer. You can put up a nice cover photo here, and you can organize your videos once you've got a few into playlists. So they've got a whole group. They've got 24 videos in their liked video playlist, which is a way of organising things. They've got 2 videos in beach and surf. They've got 4 videos in Margaret River Gourmet Escape. They've got John Torodi's Australia. They've got 5 videos there. So if I click on one of these, Australia for the Youthful Traveller, Let's just have a look at Margaret River, see what there is. If I click on this one, sorry, my Wi-Fi is really slow today, for which I apologise. Might take it, there we go, getting there. Yeah. Okay, I won't play that to you because it doesn't work very well on a webinar, but you can look at it in your own time. So there's one video, lovely video here, and then these are all the other videos in that particular playlist, okay? And once you have uploaded a video, you can see that you can see how many people have viewed it. You can see how many people have liked it, so people can like or dislike videos. This is just still loading, but they can also comment. No one's commented on this one yet, but I could comment on this video and say, great video, loved it, etc., or whatever. But as I said, with it's not as unforgiving as Facebook in terms of conversations. People can just comment and you can just let them. Other things people can do with your video, they can share it, they can add it to something, they can get a transcript, you can get basic statistics, or they can report it if it's spammy or porn or whatever. Yeah. So that's an example of a very large YouTube channel. That's Tourism Australia. I won't play that one either. But they have playlists, they have popular ones that are popular. So this one, latest ad, There's Nothing Like Australia, has 1.5 million odd views. This one has a bit over 1 million, etc. Yeah, so that's an example of a very big YouTube channel, and you might, if you're a small business, you might not have that much material, so it might not be necessary for you to. So something like Ben's, which I will show you now. So if we can link through, there we go. Okay, so this is Ben Southall. Great, best job in the world, original. He hates it when I say that. Sorry, Ben. But anyway, this is just an example of his channel, which is smaller, as you can see, but still really nice. So he's still uploading. He's uploading all the time. And note, they're really short videos. This one's 31 seconds. This one's 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 19 seconds. I don't think that one's his. 1 minute, 5 minutes. So no longer than 5 minutes, and mostly around about 2 or 3 minutes long. So Ben has a really great webinar on producing really good video content, but the main thing to understand is that these are really short and people are busy. And, you know, it's easy to see a really short 2-minute video about what your business is about. And once it's up here, you can, of course, then embed it in your website, share it into your website so that people coming to your website can see your video as well. So if you have a series of really nice, short, exciting or interesting or enticing videos, put them up on YouTube, keep them short, and just let people look at them and then share them on your website or blog or Facebook page, you know, any of those sorts of things as well. And so the subject matter is also, so this is a DJI Phantom crash at Adventureton 2013 into the river. So that sounds quite exciting. Trail running New Zealand 9, our next expedition. A couple of those. Adventureton in Coffs Harbour. So this is just what he's doing. So is there an opportunity for you to shoot nice, obviously, you know, ones like walkthroughs or behind the scenes or displaying your beautiful view or your restaurant layout if you have a restaurant, or action shots if you're a tour company, people catching great fish or wonderful whales, or, you know, anything you can think of that might look really nice on a video. Is there an opportunity for you to shoot a series of short 2 or 3 minute videos and load them up on YouTube? It doesn't have to be in a massive media room and cost you 20 grand. It can be quite simply done with a good digital camera or even a smartphone. So things to think about. And again, he has a channel. He could put some a nice background image in here. He's linked to his website, so you could link your channel to your website. He's also linked to his Google Plus page. He's invited subscribers, etc. So that's a very brief overview of YouTube. Hopefully that's given you some ideas. Things to consider: how much time have you got to produce videos? You can, as I said, it's not that hard to produce a quick 2 or 3 minute box pop, you know, a little interview or an action shot of someone catching a great fish, or a walkthrough of your latest room that's been renovated, whatever you have that looks nice visually. Equipment, so you can obviously, if you've got the budget, go for a professionally shot video, and there's certainly a place for those on YouTube, but you can also just shoot them with your iPhone. There's some apps that I'll show you later on in the webinar that are free and easy to use. It's easy to shoot and edit a quick action shot and even upload from your phone as well. Yeah, material the same. What have you got in your business that is going to be visually enticing? So I've made a couple of suggestions there, and hopefully if you've got pen and paper, you're scribbling down some ideas. But anything that looks interesting or looks nice or looks enticing or, you know, is beautiful or stuff that people will want to watch. What have you got? Or have you got somebody in your organisation who's really interesting or a real subject matter expert on something that people are going to be interested in? Could you interview them? Could you talk to the chef about, you know, the new menu or, you know, how he sources his produce or whatever, that sort of thing. Lots of opportunities, I think, in tourism, depending on your business. Planning is really good. So maybe have a bit of a 3-month plan to say, okay, for the next 3 months, we're going to be doing this video either once a month, once a week, whatever you've got time for. Or if you know there's a really great event coming up, like a festival or a fair or, you know, something really great happening in your area, can you plan to have a series of videos around that? And sharing, as I've said, once it's up on YouTube, you can then share it on your website, share it on your blog, share it on your Facebook page, share it on your Google Plus page if you've got any of those. Don't just let it sit on YouTube. Take the opportunity to share it wherever you can. It's not hard to do. You simply hit the share button and copy the code, paste it in. It's really not hard. So make the most of your content so that your Facebook audience can see your YouTube video and your website audience can see your YouTube video, if that makes sense. And responding, as I said, not so critical as it is with Facebook. With Facebook, you really need to answer questions, respond to comments, like comments if people make them, that sort of thing. YouTube, not so much. Less of a management issue, I think, than Facebook. So that's YouTube. Okay, so TripAdvisor. So I've included this one, even though it wasn't in the Yellow Pages survey, because it's a very big one for tourism, and we do get a lot of queries about it in the digital coach room. But the other reason why I have included it is products or services reviewed or blogged about by Australian social media users last year. Hotels, motels, restaurants, and holiday destinations are the top 3. Put together, that's a very big percentage of the types of products and services that people review or blog about or rate. Movies, car rental stores, these are all smaller. So this is the biggest. All the tourism, hospitality things are what people are reviewing and rating online and blogging about. Types of products and services rated by Australian social media users, again, hotel, motels, restaurants. Okay, these are the top ones. Tourism and hospitality businesses are the most popular types that are rated or reviewed by Australians. And the thing with ratings or reviews is that people read them and people believe them. There was a study done a couple of years ago that said something like 86% of people believe ratings and reviews online, only something like 14% trust corporate advertising messages. So ratings and reviews are really important for our industry. So TripAdvisor has nearly 1.5 million users at the moment in Australia. These are all the things that you can put up on your TripAdvisor listing: prices, photos, contact details, location or maps. It helps with search engine results, and it helps you and reviews and ratings, as I've said. Things to think about with TripAdvisor: if you haven't already claimed your TripAdvisor listing, you may already be on TripAdvisor even though you don't mean to be or don't want to be. And the reason for that is that people may have visited your business and rated you already and just put you up there. So it's really important to, if you haven't done so already, to check on TripAdvisor if someone has done this, and if they have, claim that listing so that you have control over it and can manage it well. There's nothing worse than an unmanaged listing. You want to make sure it's as working for your business as well as you can, and the way to do that is to claim the listing on TripAdvisor. Photos are really great. Responding to reviews is the thing that we get the most inquiries about with the digital coach line. And some people who I really feel for have been in the really unfortunate situation where people have written really awful reviews about them that, from what I can see, are quite unjustified. And that, unfortunately, is a bit of a risk with TripAdvisor. But one way or another, I would be responding to positive and negative reviews on TripAdvisor as best you can. Not every single one. Again, do what you've got time for, but just keep an eye on if people are rating you and are reviewing you on TripAdvisor, and respond. If it is a negative review, have a look at what they've written. Don't be scared or try not to be upset. I know it's distressing, but if it is a negative review, have a look at what they've said and ask yourself, is it true? Because what TripAdvisor does is it does give you an opportunity to set the record straight, even though it's not very nice. If someone has written something really awful about your business, and it is true, which I'm sure it isn't, but you could have just been having a bad day, or you might have had 10 staff call in sick and so they might have complained about the customer service, or you might have had a disaster in the pool and they might have said the pool is dirty, whereas 364 days of the year it's perfectly clean. This is an opportunity for you to be honest and say, so sorry, we were just having a really awful day. 90% of the time it's fine, and then set the record straight, if you like, as much as you can divulge information, obviously. So yes, if you are the subject of bad reviews, and also don't forget that people are not silly on TripAdvisor. They will read a negative review, but they will also read the reviewer. So if it's obvious that I've read a couple that were just awful for this poor business on the Gold Coast, but I had a look at the person who was writing them and she only had one review, and it was this one. She'd only ever reviewed one, and there are a couple of them, and the tone was the same, and they only had ever done one review. And so it was pretty obvious to me that this was someone with an axe to grind who had registered a series of false identities and posted some awful reviews. But anyone looking at it can tell if people are, really genuine or not. And the other thing is, the negativity may not be something that most people care about. For example, if you're in a place that's wild and unspoiled and natural and someone's complaining about the lack of supermarkets, most of the people that are going to come see you will just think, oh, please. So I know it's awful, and if you need help, do get in touch with us, but respond to reviews as best you can. So let's have a look at an example. Enough from me talking at you. I've just chosen this one at random, not for any particular reason, but it's just the Ibis Brisbane. I thought it had some nice things in here that were good. So I'm sure you're familiar with all this, but let's have a quick rundown. So what kind of star rating you have, and your general contact details and ways that people can get in touch with you. You can put specials up here as well. Stay 2 and save 30%, so they've got a special on at the moment. And as soon as you click on this hotel, it will immediately give you this pop-up here. So you can have a look at what prices are available. These are the company's photos that they put up. Don't forget that travellers can also put up photos which may not be as flattering, so you might want to keep an eye on this and ensure that you have very nice photos in here. Recent review, very good location, so that's nice. 891 people have reviewed this hotel. A lot of people thought it was excellent or very good. Only a couple of people thought it was terrible, but look at all the people that thought it was at least good. That's not bad. Rating summary. So here are all the things that people have rated it good for, which is pretty good. Because I'm logged in with Facebook, it's telling me what my Facebook friends have done on TripAdvisor, so just ignore that. So very good location, there's a nice review there, and you can see this contributor, she's done 17 reviews. Location, great staff, amazing bed, yada, yada, yada. Our only issue was the window of the room was so small, well, they can't do much about that without a major renovation, so they haven't responded to this one, which is kind of understandable. Business stay at IBS Brisbane, room was quite old. Now, if it were me, I would have responded to that. Okay, he still gave it 4 stars, so that's okay. Perfect, that's nice, thank you. Okay, so these are all quite glowing reviews. Let's have a look at some bad ones, because I think they did a good job of responding to them. I'll show you. Just wait for them to load. Okay, so one guy said so there's obviously been a mistake with their reception, which happens, we know it does. However, yesterday's negative experience saves cake, check out 9:01 AM, I was after sign for authorisation. So he's said what happened, they added an extra day's accommodation and they wouldn't reverse it straight then, or he would have missed his airline connection, and they haven't sorted it out. So the manager has responded to this one. Firstly, thank you for taking the time to add a review about blah. I was disappointed was not a person, would like to apologise for events took place in the apartment. Now here, if it were me, I would have said, this is what happened and we have fixed it. Okay, this is a pretty good response, but I would also put in here, we're bedding down a new check-in system and, bugs happen, or, whatever actually happened if you can. And once again, apologies, and put the name, head of department, okay? So he gets a response. Yeah, sometimes you just get these, and I think sometimes not responding is not a bad idea as well. So this is someone who has complained. I mean, as you saw with all the positive ones are really good, and very few people say this stuff. So again, if you get these kind of reviews, have a look at all the positive ones. Don't ignore it, but don't be discouraged and or put off. I know it's hard, but so the manager has responded. Thank you for the feedback. We're currently going through a lift upgrade, which we're very excited about. We're sorry for the inconvenience. So this guy was complaining because the lifts didn't work. So the manager has set the record straight by saying, so sorry, we're upgrading our lifts. And that happens in business. We know it does. But in the future, our lifts will be great. Thank you for taking the time to review us. So just some good examples of responding to negative reviews. And again, people will read the reviewer as well as the review. So this guy's only done one review. So people will get that, and they'll look at all the positive ones as well, and see what people are saying about the hotel that is excellent. You know, if they think it's excellent or very good or average. So if you do get these ones, try and respond to them. If there's an opportunity to set the record straight, try to. Always be polite, obviously, and thank you for reviewing us. Look forward to seeing you back in it, that sort of stuff. I have seen a couple of responses that have been really quite rude. I really wouldn't recommend that, no matter how angry you are. Try and just give the facts and always be polite. Okay, so that's TripAdvisor. If you are not on it or you're not sure if you're on it, look for your business on it because it's highly likely it will be there and you need to claim your listing and manage it as best you can. Put up great photos. It's an opportunity to put out specials. Make sure every bit of it is filled in as much as you can so that it's a really good showcase for your business. Okay, so that's TripAdvisor. Google Plus. So, yeah, Google Plus has approximately 65,000 monthly active users in Australia at the moment. That has dropped quite a lot. It used to be 75,000 a couple of months ago. By monthly active users, we mean not just people that have an account, but people that are actually using it actively every month. For social media, all of the things I read say that people aren't really using it as a social media platform. It's kind of Google's answer to Facebook, if you like. But where it does have its strength is in search engine optimization. It's being found in a Google search because it's a Google product. If you are looking to really optimize your website for search, then I would definitely consider Google Plus, having a Google Plus presence. It doesn't require as much management as Facebook, and there are some very good opportunities to showcase your business on it, plus get found in a Google search. So people can review you. There is a map. When you put in your address, it can show a map listing of you that you can share on your website for your location. You can put up photos, and there's this thing called circles, which means that people can put your business in a particular circle, which might be business or friends or holidays or anything that they've nominated, kind of like categorizing you, if you like. You can put up your company details, and I would definitely recommend you do this, your location, so you get a map, your phone number, your opening hours, your menu if you've that kind of business, amenities, facilities, whatever company information you can put up apart from the contact stuff that is relevant, I would put up there. And the reason why I say Google Plus for search, have a look at this guy. This is what's he called? Whales in Paradise. Okay, so this business has a Google Plus page, and you can see I typed in for this Google Plus search whale watching Brisbane just to see what would come up, and the big paid sites have come up here, so that's paid. This is not paid, okay? This is a website. This is a Google Plus page, okay? This is a website with a Google Plus page, and here they are. Sorry, that's just my Kaspersky. Sorry. If you have a Google Plus page, you should also be able to get one of these balloons and a map listing here. Now, this is free. It doesn't cost you anything. You just need to go through the registration process and do it. But as you can see, the Google Plus pages come up here. This is where the organic search starts. Occasionally you get one up here, but mostly you don't. So this is paid. This is Google Plus. This is organic. And you can see the guy with the Google Plus page has come up at the top. Address comes up as well, so people can see your address straight away and your phone number. Reviews. star ratings, what people have rated you. So a whole lot of really relevant, important information comes up here, taken directly from someone's Google Plus page. Google Plus page, and also a map listing. So when you think about it, in search, generally people don't go to the second page and they don't scroll very much. And so if you want to get found for your business, a Google Plus page is a really easy way of doing it because it gets you up the top of the page and you don't have to pay for it. And if no one had paid here, and sometimes people run out of budget, then you'd be right at the top. Plus you'd have a map listing, people could click through and see your page. So this is our whale free. This is an example of a Google Plus page called Whale Free. And there's not a lot of information in here, but it's okay. And they could add to it over time. So they could put in a nice photo here of the business. People can follow them. They put in their address details and the fact that they're a tourist attraction and what day they're open, like their opening hours, all really useful information for someone that wants to book for you. Got a little map here, contact information. People can review you here. Okay, people can have you in circles and there's an opportunity for you to upload photos. And you can put a whole lot more information up here if you want to, but this is just the basics that I would do if it were me. Let's have a look at a live example. There we are. That's our live example. That's whale free. And he's put a nice little summary here and his Google URL, contact details, tourist attraction, whale watching tourism. So basic information. So you could put a lot more up here if you wanted to. Information about why it's really great, lots of lovely photos, maybe some videos, all sorts of things up here. And as you saw from when I typed in Whale Watch Brisbane, it's a really good way of helping your search engine optimization, helping you be found on Google for search. So again, doesn't require the same kind of management that Facebook requires at the moment. I would keep an eye on reviews, same as you would on TripAdvisor. But you don't need to be continually responding to people all the time. And it's a really good way of getting found on the front page of Google when someone searches for your product. Okay, Instagram. 1.5 million active Australian users. There's a no-brainer. So it's very visual. It's all photo or video based. Hashtags, followers, business names. People can like or comment on you. Just pushing ahead a bit because we're going to run out of time if I don't. So this is Lauren Bath on Instagram. She's one of our top Instagrammers, and you can see her shots are really beautiful. So all she does, takes a photo with her camera, loads it up on Instagram either via the website or via the app, and people can then like the photo, follow her, comment on the photo. So she's put a little description here. This is another Instagrammer. If it's got an app before it, it's another Instagram account. This is what's called a hashtag. And people have commented on it. So she got lots of nice comments. And people who like her photos can just click the follow button and follow her on Instagram. So if you have a really nice visual opportunity, you might want to think about an Instagram account. Again, not as much management as Facebook. Take beautiful shots, but they need to be good shots. Don't put your company logo up there or whatever. You can see how beautiful hers are. They need to be lovely photos. And if you can have a bit of a knack for taking photos, take them, load them up on Instagram, and people will start to follow you if they like you. You can see she's put 2,500 photos up. She's got 345,000 odd followers. She's following 1,200 people. So that's a lot of people to reach just by taking a photo and putting it up on Instagram. It's free, easy to do, no-brainer. Pinterest, similarly, a lot fewer users and very female. Again, very visual and quite similar to Instagram in some ways. But again, they need to be really beautiful photos. So this is my Pinterest board. I've just put up photos here. People can pin and repin them if they like them. They can also like, comment or share any of your photos. So again, I'd probably go for Instagram first, but if you have really, really beautiful images or an opportunity for great views or whatever, then perhaps you could invite people to share these on Pinterest as well. People will see them, pin them, like them, etc. Another way of reaching an audience that you may not be able to reach on Facebook or YouTube. Twitter, for tourism, I'm not 100% convinced about. It's a good platform for many things. 2.5 million active users and growing very slowly. It used to be just text. Now you can put photos and videos up as well. If you put these hashtags in your posts, provided it's a nice photo or whatever. This is the hashtag that Tourism Australia manages. This is the one that Tourism and Events Queensland manages. So you can put these hashtags in your posts and we will see it. And if it's a really great photo, we may retweet it or do something with it so it can reach our audience as well as yours. People can follow you on Twitter. You can now have conversations, but it's not as conversational as Facebook. Considerations: Twitter has a time decay. Stuff goes down the newsfeed very, very quickly. So especially if you have a lot of followers and they follow a lot of people. So it's only there really for a second and it doesn't last very long. So you would need to manage it quite well. Humour is great, and put up stuff that is of interest. So here's one from Little Grey Box. She's put up a lovely photo via Instagram of her, and I think that's a koala actually. Notice that she's identified Australia Zoo, which is a Twitter account here, so they will see that she's posted about them. And this is a link to the picture that she's put up. Let's just have a quick look. Okay, so this is her Twitter account, Little Grey Box. She's got this many followers and she's following stuff. But this is nice. Remember, you only have 140 characters here, and after that, people can't read them, including the links that you put up. So she's put this beautiful bright wall in West End was too sweet to drive past on Sunday. I love it. And she's put in a hashtag West End and a link to the photo. Then she's put up a picture that everyone can see. This is another hashtag, selfie. If I click on that thing, selfie, everything with the hashtag selfie will come up on my screen. I won't do it now, but Sunshine Coast. So if I click on that one, Sunshine Coast, everything with that hashtag Sunshine Coast will come up on my screen, whether or not I'm following these people. Okay. Everything with the hashtag Sunshine Coast, Sunshine Coast, Sunshine Coast. So it's a way of organising information. So you can put videos up on Twitter. You can put pictures up on Twitter now. You can also respond to people. So she's written this. Yesterday I made a new best friend. Someone else has said, what a cutie, he's going in for the snuggle, haha, I know, it's such a sweet moment. So there's a nice little conversation happening there, doesn't hurt. But it still is very much one-on-one Twitter. Doesn't require as much management as Facebook, as I've said, but still needs a bit of management. So consider whether you want to be on Twitter as well as other social media platforms or not. Blogging, again, enormous audience. So WordPress blog platform has 6 million odd, Blogspot platform has nearly 3 million, Tumblr has nearly 5 million. These are the major platforms for blogging. If you're not familiar with what a blog is, it's kind of a digital diary. So you can just write a little article or share a photo or video of what's been basically going on for you. It's kind of a very nice way to show the human side of your company, if you like. It again can be very helpful in your search engine optimization rankings, because if your blog is attached to your website and you are updating it with blog posts regularly, that is what's called fresh content, which Google likes normally and will normally rank you higher than content that's been kind of sitting there for 6 months. So rather than having to update your website all the time, a blog attached to your website is kind of a no-brainer way of helping your search engine rankings. Considerations, as always: time, resources to produce content that people want to link to. So what you would want to do is produce content that people do actually want to link to. It's interesting, or it's unique, or it's, I don't know, scary, or whatever. Stuff that people want to read and link to, because backlinks will help your rankings in search as well. But as I said, it is the chance to be human and real. It's the voice of the company. So if you write as you speak and say, oh gosh, look what happened today, and tell a lovely story, it's a really nice way of getting people to engage with you. People can comment on your blog, they can share your post, and they can link back to your blog as well from their own site. So all good considerations there. A couple of examples. Not quite Nigella. Let's have a look at her. Just lost her. Let's have a look at Aussie Nomad. So this guy is on a blogging platform. He's called the Aussie Nomad, and basically he has got text up there, he's got photos, he's got tips, and he's got something called the Vegemite Challenge. It sounds a bit frightening. But anyway, so he's got an article here on Youth Mobility Visa Ultimate Guide. He's got one on moving to London. He's got career advice from travelling, Anzac Day at Gallipoli, bank insurance and national insurance numbers, so bank accounts, national insurance numbers. So a lot of kind of how-to tips like that. He's also got a lovely article and photo here on the Sunshine Coast hinterland. He's got something on the Sunshine Coast here, holiday on the Sunshine Coast this year. He's written an essay, 5 tips to keep your travel New Year resolution. Do you enjoy spending? So these are all blog posts that he's done, and that's December. He looks like he's doing about 3 a month. December 15, December 2, January 5, March 5. I know, every month or so on average he's loading. So if you like to write and you think you've got something to say, you might consider putting up a blog like this that is attached to your website so that it is regularly refreshed content and also helps people to engage with you. Let's just have a look at this post. Let's see what options he's got. Just wait for it to load. There we go. Beautiful photo. Wow, that's gorgeous. Yeah, so he's just put up, so yeah, this is the other thing. You don't have to always write a huge essay every time. You could just take a gorgeous shot like that and write a paragraph, okay? And that would help to keep people engaged and refresh your content. But the other thing with the blog is that people can then share a link to that blog on Twitter. Okay, they can also share a link to that blog post on their Google Plus, or they could even pin the photo on Pinterest. People can also comment here. So 19 responses to a welcome home sunrise. So someone called Sammy Dawn has written, this picture's amazing. I'm feeling quite slightly homesick now. And you notice Aussie Nomad has troubled to respond to that comment, which is really nice. Someone else has commented and he's responded. Someone else has commented and he's responded, etc., etc., etc. So very simple way of creating regularly refreshed content, of getting people to engage with you. He's also got a little Facebook pop up there. So if you like to write or you think you can take great photos and write a paragraph about them, think about establishing a blog. Again, less management than Facebook, helps you search engine optimization, helps you show who you really are. Really nice. So just before we finish, a little bit about managing social media. As I said at the very beginning, have a look at the platforms that your audience is on, and think, which do I have the resources to do well? Try and do at least one thing well. Don't try and do 5 things not very well, because it won't help and you'll just exhaust yourself and spend resources doing things that really aren't going to help your business. So think to yourself, what platforms could I be on, and of all of those, which ones do I have the resources to do well, and which ones do my business really lend it to? If it's visually beautiful, there's a lot of opportunity probably for photos and videos. If it's more about how-tos and doing stuff that way, then it might be more like a blog, Facebook page, whatever. As I said at the beginning, it is really good to have a plan. Try and plan maybe 3 months of content, and kind of a rolling plan as you go. But leave room for spontaneity as well. If something lovely happens that you weren't expecting, like the chickens hatched or you had a lamb, or something funny, happened that you weren't expecting, an animal did something funny, or one of your staff members did something funny, capture it and post it. So yes, definitely have a plan about what you're going to post over the next couple of months, but leave room to be spontaneous as well. It is a really good way to evaluate if you are succeeding or not. How many likes have you got on Facebook? How many likes, how many followers have you got on Twitter? How many likes did your YouTube video get? Are people commenting on your video? Are they commenting on your Facebook post? Are they sharing your Facebook post? Are they sharing your video on YouTube? Are they reposting your posts? Are they repinning your pins? Are they retweeting your tweets? Are people doing stuff with the stuff that you've put up? So tracking is just almost as important, if not as important, as creating and posting great content. Because if you don't know what works, then you can't do more of the same. And if you don't know what's not working, you might be spending all your time and effort doing stuff that people really aren't interested in. So definitely track what people are doing with the stuff you're putting up. If they're liking it, commenting it, sharing it, retweeting you, doing something with the stuff that you put up. And over time, get a picture of what's really working, because that will help you to do more of the same. In terms of creating content, there are options to create content rather than you having to do it all the time if you want to. Elance, if you're not familiar with it, is basically a website of freelancers, including writers, many other workers as well. But it's possible to just hop onto Elance and find someone who is going to be probably a bit cheaper than higher grade freelancers. So this is just elance.com, who's going to be a bit cheaper and still good quality, who could write you 5 articles on your blog or whatever. You might have to brief them, but then they could write them for you. You pay them via PayPal or whatever arrangement you have, and it's easier and cheaper than possibly you doing it yourself if you don't have the time or the skills. So there's programmers, there's mobile developers, there's designers, there's writers, there's marketers. Yeah, so that's one way. You'd need to choose your person carefully and make sure they're going to be a good fit for you and read all the T's and C's and stuff. But that is one option for you. There's a number of these sites. I think Elance is the biggest. Infogram is another one where you can create beautiful infographics. So an infographic can be a really nice picture way of communicating quite dry information. So this just has a series of templates. You can choose a template, plug in your information and come up with a beautiful graphic that you can then share on your Facebook page or your website or your blog or whatever, or possibly even on Pinterest. I think a lot of people do put infographics on Pinterest as well. It's either free or quite cheap to do, and you could do that once in a while to kind of mix it up so it's not always just text. Smartphone apps. So if you want to create videos for Twitter, you could consider using something like Vine, which is just simply an app that you would download onto your smartphone. It will shoot a 30-second video. There it is, there's one, that will loop the whole time, and you can just capture something really quickly and post it to Twitter straight away. So there we go. There's another one. Oh, you probably can't see it. That's right, you can't see video. I would have a look at Vine and see if it's right for you. Don't forget, of course, if you are shooting videos, you need to get releases for the people that you're shooting. Just make sure they sign a release so it's okay to use it. Another one, Splice, is another smartphone app that I use a fair bit, and you can basically upload still photos or video footage, whatever you like, into a kind of a little film on your smartphone, and it will then process it for you, and you can share it right from your smartphone on various platforms like Facebook or I think YouTube as well. It's freemium, so you can get a certain amount of functionality, enough for free, and then you can pay if you want it to do more things. But you can put in nice titles, you can put in captions, and it does really make quite a nice little video for you to do. So if you're not an expert, this can be a really good way to start. There's a couple of these. Splice is one, Magisto is another. But anyway, these can be really helpful in helping you to create content. Yeah. Managing negative comments and reviews, as I said, particularly with reference to TripAdvisor and possibly Google+, you might get negative comments on Facebook. If you can solve the problem for the person, whatever it is, obviously do that. Set the record straight. If they're saying something that's inaccurate or misleading or isn't fair or isn't true, you're perfectly entitled to say, actually, this is really what happened and here's the reasons behind it. Share as much as you want to. And as I said, read the reviewer as well as the review. So if someone is a serial complainer on TripAdvisor, people will know that. They'll have a look at the person writing a negative review. If they've only written one review ever, and if you've got a series of reviews from different accounts who've all written one review, there's kind of writing on the wall. People will get that someone's got a grudge. So it's not nice, I know, but the best way to manage it is to solve the problem for the person if you can. Give them a discount, give them a refund, sort out whatever the problem was, tell them that you're renovating or, your lifts are being fixed or whatever. Set the record straight if it's inaccurate, and remember to read the review as well as the review, because there might be someone that always writes negative reviews. Anyway, one other thing you do need to be aware of, which is really important just before we finish, is that you are now responsible for content, as I said earlier, on your Facebook page, because it's deemed advertising. So if somebody posts something up on your Facebook page that is illegal, e.g. defamatory, racist, homophobic, any of those kind of things, you are then responsible for it because it's on your Facebook page, even though you didn't post it. So don't be scared by this. I think it's highly unlikely it would happen to you, but if it does, remember I said in your about where the Condé Nast Traveller has, we will remove or delete comments that are blah, put that statement in your about, and if someone does post something like that that is against the law, just delete it. It's fine to do that. We say normally don't delete Facebook posts, but something like that, you're responsible for, so you're now entitled to. If it's misleading, if they put something up there that is misleading, you also need to correct it. These are the two things that you need to do. You need to delete illegal posts that are illegal, breaking the law, and you need to correct something that's misleading, which is simple to do. It's just a matter of responding to that comment and saying, actually, this is really what's happening. If you want to read the whole decision, this is the hyperlink. The whole ABS ruling is here if you want more information or want to show it to your legal people. But the lesson to take away is manage your community. So don't let your Facebook page sit there for a month. Keep an eye on it. Respond if people are saying things that are misleading or not true, and if they are illegal, defamatory, racist, homophobic, any of those kind of things, we would recommend that you delete them. If you want any more help with that, do give us a call. More than happy to point you in the direction of legal advice if you need it, or just give you the benefit of our experience as far as it goes. We're not lawyers, so we're not giving you legal advice, but this is generally what the recommendation is across the board. One other thing before we finish Hootsuite. So if you have a lot of social media, you can actually load up all your different social media accounts here and see everything that's going on with them, if people are posting stuff. If you have a lot of social media accounts, you're finding it difficult to keep on top of them all, Hootsuite or TweetDeck is quite similar as well. Two management tools that you might like to have. It can also show you things like who you've assigned different complaints to or different tweets to follow up, and a lot of other really useful information. But the main thing for me is I can see, I'll just put this one up as an example, it's just my Twitter account, but you can put Twitter, Facebook, I've got LinkedIn, I've got Foursquare, I've got Google+, YouTube, RSS Reader, a heap of social media platforms that you can load up here and keep track of them all the time and see what people are saying about you. It's a really good management tool if you're floundering a bit and finding it difficult to just manage face-to-face. TweetDeck, also quite similar. There are many others, but these are just two. Okay, I have gone a bit over time. Sorry about that, everybody. I'm sure you've all got jobs to go to, but if you do have questions and you've got time to stay, feel free to type them in now. And I will do my best to answer them now, or you can type them in now and I can answer them later on this afternoon, or you can email me. So while you're thinking of your questions, I'll go through our other resources. We have all of these resources available to you for more information on social media. And also there's a series of really good social media webinars recordings on the YouTube channel if you want more detail. This is Ben Southall creating shareable videos. This is Mirko doing advanced social media. And this is Margaret River Tours, Sean Bloxich, who's great, social media in 15 minutes a day, really worth watching if you've got time. So have a look at our YouTube channel. Next webinar's coming up, TripAdvisor, how timely. Changes to Australian privacy laws that you probably should be across as a business owner, especially if you're collecting email addresses. Writing for websites will be me. Marketing campaign on a budget, I think, is me too. Here's where you register. If you're interested in any of these, please feel free to go and register. And don't forget, Digital Ready has workshops, programs, mentoring, everything to help you over the phone or via email or face-to-face. See or get in touch with us if you need help. 2nd of June, save the date, Digital Bing Bang, our big conference we're organising with many eminent social media and digital commentators. So save the date, 2nd of June 2014, tickets through Eventbrite. Thanks everyone for sticking with me. I hope you found today useful. By all means, hang on the line. If you have a question you want me to answer, more than happy to. Otherwise, thank you for attending and I'll see you later. Bye. Thanks everyone. Questions? Anyone got any questions before we go? No? Okay, thank you.